Hey everybody, we are back on stage, and now I have with me Herbert Cuba Garcia from the North Creation Agency. And well, he is telling us a little bit Silverstripe 101 style, how to get started, how to set up a site properly. That's especially interesting for the newbies here. And you're well, the stage is yours.
Thank you. Hello Europe, Sweden calling. Yeah, the old joke about Eurovision and so on. Yes, I plan to hold my talk about, or my workshop actually, regarding Silverstripe CMS, the actual CMS features. Sam held a talk today about the cool model admin aspects and those parts. But I'll be focusing more on the actual CMS and what we could do with that. So first, let me share my screen, like so. Okay. So here we go. All right, hopefully you can see my screen. 1 second. All right, so getting started with Silverstripe CMS, what is and what can we do with it? I will briefly go through some slides just referencing what it is. So Silverstripe CMS, it's open source CMS under BSD license, which is very generous license, which is very good, I think. And also, as we mentioned before, it's highly flexible. You can do, I would say, almost anything with it. So just up to how you use it. It also facilitates a lot of rapid development. I think Sam was into this as well. It's really not as much as a CMS as a framework, which helps you really to development and enhances the speed of it. And also a good thing about it, I think, is that the Silverstripe Limited company is behind the whole project. They're the creators, and also a lot of pushing boundaries all the time. I think that's a really good agency for doing that. And the CMS has been around since 2007, and now is currently in version 4. And some example of usages of Silverstripe: the New Zealand government, Slovenian government, the Westpac Bank, the Marketo, even Gordon Ramsay has started using it. So it's getting traction, and in different ways as well. Yeah. So, what is the tech behind Silverstripe framework? So, at its core, it's a modern MVC architecture with built-in or ORM. So it really facilitates you in the way you want to work. Uses P7 with all the latest parts of that, and it really urges you to use an object-oriented approach, which is good. Has its own pre-built templating language. Love it or hate it, it's quite flexible and usable, so I think it's quite good. And it supports many database backends as well, and works on multiple operating systems like Linux, Windows, and Mac. And yeah, so it's quite has a quite good usage, and also, of course, uses PHP Composer. It recommends using that for using all dependencies. Yes. So when to use Silverstripe? Well, it's of course excels in building websites, and it's for all sizes. I would say even the smaller ones benefit from using that. But mostly, what we've discovered is, as soon there are some custom, unique needs the client wants, more bespoke kind of solutions, I think that's where Silverstripe really shines. And I will also add to that this is like all the cases start out like, yeah, we just want a small site, and then half year later, 1 year later, oh, by the way, we need to add this and this and this. And if you start with like WordPress, something like that, you'll soon, end up at a dead end with that. So Silverstripe is really good at facilitating those parts. And also it works excellent for creating web apps when you don't need CMS or editing publishing editing, those parts. So it uses more of a, creates a simple backend for you, which is really still quite complex, as he mentioned, Sam, the model admin. Yes, and then of course use as a backend for any headless kind of application. And any custom API solutions, you can have it as a part of a bigger system in some ways. I've built some services regarding the PDF, as we discussed earlier, PDF service in Silverstripe framework. We just send URLs for printing, and it just does that, and it's only a Silverstripe framework solution for that. Okay. So next part will be some workshop. I will gladly take some questions from you guys, if you have any. This is the moment, or else you can also ask them at the end of the talk as well. So I'll just wait around, see if there are any questions at the moment. Yeah, hi Lars. And hi Martina. All right, I think I should continue then. Maybe there are some questions. So I should just say that this talk is mainly, my main target here is the newcomers to Silverstripe and see what it can do for them. So I'll start off with going to the getting started page for the official getting started page, basically. Let's see, here we go. So it recommends you to start using Composer, as we see here. And I should probably show you this. This is what we're working with. There is a website we can create at the moment. It's called Silverpets, and we're gonna do 2 page types. So it's the ordinary page, and we have a home page for it. So let's see how far we'll be able to do here during this hour. But so this is the end goal here. So these 2 pages are already done in a static kind of way. So it's all HTML, and I would actually urge you to download them. I can just send you out the links for that. See if I have. Yeah, here we go. I can publish to the chat. So if you want to follow along, I would urge you to probably download it and just yeah, follow the steps. So these 2 are the pages we're going to work with. All right, so what we're going to do first is we're going to use the Composer to create a project here. So we can use the Silverstripe installer recipe basically for it. I have my folder here, Silverstripe Silverpets test. So I could probably just so oh yeah. Okay, so I'll remove it by doing this. So we start as we should. Okay. it's good. It takes me some time because now you can probably download the whole thing. All right, so here we go. So we use this and we create Silver Pets test folder. You go to the project. So it's gonna create this, and I'm gonna use PHP Storm for creating a project. So I would urge you to, I don't know, use your ID for that. I would also, while this is working, I would like to also recommend a module. PHP Storm has a module for Silverstripe templates, and it's this one, and I'll add that I'll add actually both, I think, to the chat. And what they are, the first one is the IntelliJ, the plugin for PHP Storm, and the other one are live templates that we set up for faster, I could call it scaffolding of code, basically, so you don't have to write the same thing all again. So I'm going to use those parts. All right, so it's installing here. So I think it's trying to reopen some old project here. So Johannes, I haven't had any problems with the PHP module. If you're talking about the Silverstripe template, the template support, basically. So no. Okay, so I'm not sure why PHP Storm isn't working. It's classic stuff, this, when you're presenting stuff. Try again. So basically, I think regarding IDE, I think the two best contenders to use is PHP Storm, but it's quite expensive, but that's my go-to. But I know VS Code is really awesome as well. So that's also would be my second option. Yeah, hopefully this will be the roughest start. All right, so I can just go through what we're going to do. We're going to start off with creating some kind of page, default page type for this page, and this will be a basic content page. I won't delve into any modules like the Elemental module or any other fancy Bootstrap modules. I will just do as bare bones I possibly can, just showing you how getting website up and running. And then if we have time, we're going to do the home page as much as we can. So this is basically a kind of pet site where you could adopt pets, and gives you some information of how to train your pet and so on. Okay, so let's see if we can. Still working, installing the. All right. Okay, some success finally. We'll see how far it's reached. So, here we go. And my first mission here will be setting up the site. So basic installation Silverstripe, the vanilla Silverstripe actually works, and see how that goes. All right, here we go. It's now done. So this is what we got. We got this code base here, and yeah, 2 more. Great. So we have the application. This is going to be actually my working folder for the project that I'm going to do. We have the public folder. This is where we expose all our files. So yeah, I'm going to talk more about that. And then we have the themes folder. We get the default one, the simple theme, so we at least can view something. And on the front end, that is. And then we get the vendor folder, and this is for the whole, all the modules, all the parts that Silverstripe use, third-party code, and so on. And then we have the composer, which has been auto-created. It's here. And then we also have we don't really have it, but we have an environment example. This environment folder, the environment file here is the one we're gonna need to create and to set up the how you say, password and so on to the database and so on. So I'll create just a file. We could use just this one. So this is, now you have to know your own local host kind of, oh, sorry, I just, think it's the one. So let's do, this is for silver, or we'll do it like this. All right, save, and then we go to, I have already configured my MAMP, so we don't have to wait for that. That will take ages as well. So what we'll do is we're gonna go to silverpets.test. This is my local environment, and do a dev build for that. And if I had my MySQL password correct, this should run and create a lot of new entries in the database. So always nice waiting. Yeah, we could go through this a little bit more. So what we're going to do is we're going to create another theme here, and we're going to create one called Silver Pets for this exercise. And here is where we're going to put all our theme, basically. And we have here, if you've downloaded the GitHub, if you went to the GitHub link I sent before, this is what you will get if you download it. It's a basic static site. So it's everything here is going to be translated to actual site, a dynamic site, that is. All right, so we get the error here. So basically, I'm guessing it's not correct, my root password. So I'll check, see what it could be. This is one we created. So let's see if It's another project, see what that has. All right, so let's copy this. Yeah, here we also added the default admin and password, so we could log in with some kind of default user, and then we have a environment type, so we're in development. So let's try that again. All right, well, this is working. We could go over to the static site, and what we can do now is basically copy the whole shebang and then go back to our project and go into the themes folder and into Silverpets, basically just paste it right in here. So now we're going to see it right here. So it's going to have all the same kind of so these HTML files are something we're going to have to transform to Silverstripe templates. So that's something we're going to do soon. Firstly, I would like to go through the actual what we've got automatically in our app folder. So we've got in some configs and a couple of page files. So the page .php, this is the base page that you can create, and also the controller for that page. And the controller will handle the requests coming in and route, so the response will be what it should be. So in Silverstripe, it's quite automatically handled, at least for the pages. So that means if you have a page, you create the same name and add controller, then automatically that controller will be for that page. So it's easy enough. You can also create data objects in Silverstripe, which are not a part of any site tree or any, doesn't have the page features, and those will be needed to be handled manually regarding to expose them through an URL or something like that. So it depends. Yeah, so you have to just know what you want to use them for. All right, so let's see. So okay, so here it built something. So if we go now to our front end for this site, which gets the basic default simple theme look. Yeah, so it's actually even worse than that. Let's see. Yeah, so it's simple. Yeah. Should actually use the simple one. I'm not sure why it's, maybe do classic flush. Flush is yeah, you flush the cache basically for the whole framework, so it forces it to reload cache parts again. So it could be useful. So, well, it's not that. Let's see. So we're going to use the first page I showed you here before, what we're working with. This one, the default page, is the one we're gonna prepare to work with the Silverstripe page, this one. So we have some kind of baseline basically for our site. So in the theme, you can always look at the default theme if you foresee how this is built up. So the only, I would say, mandatory kind of folder structure here is the templates one. in here will be the Silverstripe templates, and you can use includes, and you can use different type of page types for it. So here we go. So what we're going to do here in our theme is going to create a folder called templates. And in this one, we could create the folder layout. Yeah, like so. So here in the template, we should add, this is basically the master page for the whole, I should probably use the template plugin I talked about before. So the template plugin helps you create the Silverstripe file. I just updated the PHP Storm, so probably that's why I can't select it at the moment. But in the case, you can do like so. So page.ss. So this will be a starting point. So before it actually works, let's see here. We need to somehow tell Silverstripe that we're going to use this theme. So first thing we need to do is go into my theme configuration and basically just add, we can remove this one. I'm not going to use the simple one. And just add silver pets. And the ordering here is basically that it should first look into the theme folder silver pets if it finds any templates. If not, it will go to the public folder, see if it can find any template folders there. If not, it will revert to third-party modules vendors for looking for templates. This is the order of things. All right, so before this actually works, we will also need to expose the theme into our public folder, because that's where it's going to pick up every resource from. So currently in the resources part, we have the theme, and it's only the simple one exposed here. So we'll have to go to our composer here, and then I'll just copy this. Here we go. So we will have to add the expose part here for it, like so. And then when we, let's see, it's going to, now we just, I think it's like this, vendor expose, composer vendor expose. Well, something's happening. Yeah, great. So now if we go back to the public folder, go into resources and themes, we should have another one here. Let's see what could be wrong. Themes, silver pets. That looks good enough. Oh well, let's see. Okay, so pretend that we didn't know it didn't work. If we would try to refresh the page, it would probably not work. Let's see. We could also do a composer install or composer update as well. That would probably work just as well. Let's do that. Maybe there is some, okay, so the expose part probably is put in the wrong located. Okay, so this is good practice for me as well. I think it should be inside the extra. That's the issue here. So let's try it again, because here we see that let's see here. Yeah, so here it is now. So it's in public resource theme Silverpets. Now it's exposed basically, and this is our template and page SS. So hopefully now we should have the static HTML, or sorry, we actually just wrote hello world, so we should expect that. Let's see if something happens. It's practicing patience as well. This. I should probably update my MacBook as well. I think about it. Okay, so still nothing. All right. Is this well? Our theme Silverpets. All right. Silverpets looks good. The naming is good. So let's see what could be wrong. Templates correct spelled, page SS. Maybe if we do about us page. Here we go. Hello world. So I think the issue is that the home page is of a different kind of page type probably than the other ones. So this is ordinary page. And that's exactly what we created here. So finally, hello world. This is the one here. So here we're going to copy the whole static code into the page SS. And of course, nothing is going to work as we intend, because all these resources are relatively, I think they're pointing to the wrong place at the moment. So what we're going to do is we're going to add, going to help Silverstripe understand where we have everything. So we're going to replace the CSS with, so theme directory is Silverstripe variable or theme or template variable basically from Silverstripe, which points to the current theme you're using. So if we add that before the CSS part, and replace all CSS parts, this should be a good start. And then the same with JavaScript, like so. We could also do that. We have probably some images there. Could do it as well. All right, so saving that and hoping for the best. So now it's actually trying to go into the correct places here. So this is still demo images and so on, but the CSS and JavaScript should be the ones we want to use. Yeah, so the page actually looks like something now. See what's missing. We have some image here, but the logo is on point. So yeah, here's something that shouldn't have been. So yeah, you have to go through all this and probably manually amend some problems as well. But this is just for getting up the static part. All right. So But all the pages we're going to go to will look exactly like this. So it's not not too exciting. But we can at this moment probably go into the system and also have a look at this. And I'm realizing that it's going to be hard for me to enter the system without some kind of login form, because all pages will render this at the moment, because we only have one template, and it will and all the page type and every view will use the first, the one they can find, and we only have one. So in this one we will have to at least add help Silverstripe to know where to render a form. So admin password. Because admin password word was what we added to our default admin and default password in the environment file. Right. Okay, so we have our site here. So reminding you, this is vanilla. This is what you get out of the box. I'll go through the different sections on the left quickly. While it loads, I can start off. Yeah, so the pages part is where you find the whole site tree and the menu and the content for the page, like so. So we already have a site structure here. So different content for everything here. I can probably just go more into depth with these parts while we're at it. It's really slow at the moment. Anyway, so then you have oh, here we go. So this is how you edit your page. You get your page name, URL segment, and a navigation label, and the main content for the page. And also at the bottom here you have some metadata for creating meta descriptions and so on. You can create your own as well. And at the very bottom is the way you can save a draft or publish the page. So as you can see here on the services part, we have this page modified but not published. So it's labeled as such. And also for an editor, the CMS is pretty convenient in that sense that you can preview. You can do a split mode and preview the page on your right side, and you can preview it in the draft mode or in publish mode and see if text looks as you intended. So for now I'll go into edit mode. And also here on your upper right hand side you have the history. You can view what kind of changes were made to the page and by whom. So there are quite a lot of nice features here. And this left menu here can collapse as well. As you see, I'll have it open at the moment. And then we have campaigns, and campaigns is so you can add a lot of pages. Say that you want to have this services part as you want to rewrite a lot of them and then publish them at the same time. Then you could add a lot of pages to a campaign and then make sure you publish them at the same time. So we have one campaign here. It's a basic service update. So we can modify pages, and then we see all the changes here, and then we can publish the whole campaign at once. Yes, and then we have the file section. This is where our files will end up, images and so on that we upload. And because the system isn't that fast at the moment, I'll probably skip showing you all of these, but I'll just wait for this one. All right, so here we have some some files added before, but of course they can't be found at the moment because I removed them. So then we have the settings part, which this is the quite important area where you have all this your site-wide settings, such as site title, slogan, or if you want something in the footer, which will be shown on every page, you can add that part here as well. All right, so enough with this. I'll try to go ahead with the template so we can see something. Here we are. All right, so firstly, Silverstripe helps you with the title and the bar set and so on, where you can use something called meta title. Meta tags. Let's see if here we go. So you just do like this, and then you get those, and then we will probably want to do some kind of menu for the site. So here's the menu container. We would probably like to use a menu for this, and Silverstripe uses or has a lot of ready-made template functions for you to use, so you can just start using them. So one of those is gonna loop, and there is one called menu, and then it knows it should loop through the menu or all the pages from the root, basically. And also when we loop the menu, for each loop we're in the context of that page. So currently we're in the context of the page being looped. So if we write menu title here, we'll get the title of that page, and we'll get link to that page, and so on. And this is what we could do. And also for extra bonus, we can have a sub page, sub pages. So what we could do then is say if this page has children, we could create util container and loop the children. So again, we're in the context of those pages, and here we could do the same thing again. Use the menu title. Okay, and link. Also, I would recommend using title, the title attribute, just to validate your code. But that's outside the scope of this talk. All right, so hopefully we should have a menu. So we could remove this. Here we see the last item here in the menu. If I can show you the menu, has this color. So it's the BG color, I believe. So that's something we would like. So we could do. So when we're looping the pages, Silverstripe provides you with. I could do an if here. Let's do it on the same line here. So if last, that's something it can help you with. So if this is the last item in the collection, it will add the background color class. All right, so let's remove all this, start the code, see if I managed to screw up anything here. Here we go. So let's have a look at the About Us page like we did before. The menu needs an argument, of course. So it wants to know from which level it's going to start. So you could start the menu off at level 2. That's the depth of the side tree, but we want to start from the first one. All right. So we have something here, and it looks like it's mapping quite well. And here's the child pages. Yeah. So we would like to have another page here at the end. We don't want the FAQ. So in the original design, or I don't know, what we probably would like to have basically is to have call to action, say adopt a pet, something like that, and that's the one here. So what Silverstripe allows us to do is creating a new page and creating a redirector page. So basically what we can do is, it redirects us to whatever page we want, but it will exist in the menu because it is technically a page. So let's do a redirector page. On the top level, yeah, it's good. I should probably say that Silverstripe's a lot faster than this. It's probably my computer's not feeling too well. All right, so let's call it adopt. And here you can select if you want to have a page on your website or another website. So let's use services here and adopt a dog, and we could publish this right away. So now we should have that part going. So I could continue with this for probably 2 more hours for you to see how to do this. I would probably be creating some kind of a YouTube tutorial for this to just get even more into this. There it is, the adopt one. And this will take you to redirect you to the services part, adopt a dog. Yeah, so I'm sorry I have a lot more time than this because I want to stop and take some questions as well. Yeah, at least now I know how to set up a simple site and just continue on with this, removing the static parts for the more dynamic parts. I should probably say that the last part here is we just created a master page. So all the pages will look like this. What you really should do here in the layout is creating a layout for different page types. We only created page types of type page, the base one. But here you can create the actual page type, and if you have a home page type, then you could create this, and this will be automatically mapped to your actual page classes that you create in the app folder. So if you would have had a page called home page, that would automatically be searching for a home page layout for it. And in order to work fully, you will need in the master page here say where you would like to, because the master page assumes that you want the header and the footer to be from this page, and then all the page types would be rendered in the middle somewhere, probably here in the content part of the page. So you would have like this. So this would generate all, this will include and render all the layout templates, and then we would probably want to remove this. Yeah, it won't be much of a difference here, I think, but we don't have any content, so that's probably why. All right, but I think my time will be over soon, so I'll stop to take any questions if there are any. Oh, yeah, one more. I should probably do some summarizing as well. The final note I would like to add is the good part about Silverstripe is it uses a lot of YAML configuration, which is very nice. It's more, has better performance and is easier to know what you're doing. And there's also a concept called extensions in Silverstripe, which are quite powerful and uniquely Silverstripe, as I say, which allows you attaching functionality to already existing classes and models. And it's not really like traits, it's similar to traits, but it's more unobtrusive, I would say. And also Silverstripe on itself has great support for multi-language, both for editors and developers, and has really has a growing community and a friendly community as well. Yeah, and yeah, Silverstripe itself Limited has made good choices during this 10-year period in which way to innovate. So I think it's running along really nicely. So I would really recommend trying it out at least. Yeah, that's me.
Herbert, thank you for the talk. It was great.
Thank you.
Code, and it was great to see some live coding with classical little hiccups, but hey, that's life, right?
Yes, that's how it is.
Exactly. Do we have questions? I think there is one. Curious if many developers agency prefer to build out layouts first in static HTML, CSS files before integrating with Silverstripe templates. What about you guys at North Creation Agency? Do you start from scratch with HTML and CSS, or is it Silverstripe right from the beginning on?
It depends on the project, I would say. It helps actually to do the template work. We've started using that more and more. So we do all the front end work, and usually we started doing the what you call it, basically a boilerplate site with all the components and all the elemental blocks, but doing them in just static. And then we just hand it over to developers, and they can just chop it up as they see fit. And that really helps with planning and all those parts in a better way, I think. But I mean, for smaller projects, it's easy enough just doing it at the same time as everything else.
Yeah, I see. Well, are there any more questions for Herbert? Don't be shy in the chat, please.
Thank you. I just got 12 points. That's all. Always good to hear when you're Swedish. Yeah.
Well, meanwhile, are there any key takeaways from your side that you want to share with the community, or especially with the newbies?
Yeah, I would just like to say that as a CMS, it's really good and really flexible, and you will win by using Silverstripe in the long run, because there's always stuff adding on during the years, and that's actually helped us excel towards our clients, because they always feel like everything is possible with never. So that's really a good thing to think about the long run when building projects. And also what Sam said, I think this is true for ourselves. We're building less and less like normal websites, like I just showed you. We're doing a lot more like web apps and APIs and headless stuff. And I think that's really good that Sam said that we're approaching, or we're going more that route. So yeah, I think it's a good way forward.
Yeah, I think you're kind of right. We are like now in the phase of that post 0 at 15 website phase and more towards like web applications. And with Silverstripe, you know, the guys in New Zealand, they are really pushing the limits. So the limitations are not that hard like when you started with, let's say, WordPress again, because my feeling is that this is more intended for regular websites. And with Silverstripe, you have all the options. If you want to do a small website for a small business, or if you want to create a large-scale application, being available 24/7 all over the world. So yeah, I'm with you on that.
Yeah, and it's really developer friendly. It's easy to work with, so I would definitely recommend it.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Thank you.
Well, thanks a lot. See you soon. Stick around in the network section.
Yes. Looking forward to the next talk. Bye, guys.
Cool. Bye.